great.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned Podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Ashley Elaine. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
We are excited to have you here today to talk all things Where the Wind Blows. So we know that
Yes.
you star in this, and you're also a producer. So why don't you tell us maybe how you got involved in this project to begin with?
Well, I started my own production company, AE Productions Inc., and I was looking for family-friendly projects that I could also act in as well as produce. And I met my amazing director, writer, editor, other producing partner, John Shimke, and he had this incredible script. And the second I read it, I just fell in love with, well, literally everything, because it's based off of Carolyn Fife's novel, which is incredible. If you haven't read it, you need to read that. And then the screenplay that was adapted off of it, the writing's incredible. It's very rich and full from the characters, and I just knew that I had to produce and act in this film.
Okay, that's we love a good movie that's based off of a book, so that's already a big win for everyone. On top of it, you've already had a premiere on October 2nd at the London Hotel in LA. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, that was super exciting. Michelle Hurd, Dawn Swayze, a couple of our other cast members ended up coming, and we had press there, and it was just seeing it up on the big screen for the first time. It just was such an incredible cinematic experience. I can't wait for audiences to see this film. It's truly special.
It truly looks like a film you should see on a big screen. I mean, just it's so cinematic and so beautiful. Tell us, Ashley, when you first saw the script and you knew you wanted to produce this and act in it, how long was that process from that moment to premiering?
Gosh, well, I was doing another project called Mayberry Man, the series, season 1, that I also produced. And my director, John Shimke, was doing his dark comedy, Don't Tell Larry. And so he had given me the script 2 years prior, but we were both busy. And then when we both had a lull, I know his sister. And so he was visiting Texas, where I live, and I'm really close to his sister. And so at Christmas, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. He gave me this incredible script. So the next day she had a Christmas party, and I cornered him at the Christmas party. And I was like, John, we have to do this film. I think the timing's perfect. Let's go. And then from that day, 2 years ago at Christmas, it went really fast. It went into pre-production, development, pre-production, production, and now we're finally going to be released October 24th.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. So, 2 years ago, but we went from that December, and then we filmed in June in Montana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and then post-production took a little bit of time. We had a lot of special effects we had to do, and that just took a minute. But, and now we're coming out October 24th. So.
That's exciting. We can't wait for it to be available. You play the lead character, Jesse, who has not had an easy life. What about Jesse really resonated with you and drew you to that character?
Gosh, her strength and just her resilience. And she's just so grounded in her faith. And I really admired all the adversity she had to go through, but she still was hopeful. And I think that that's a real theme in this film is hope.
Yeah.
That the most important thing to her was to have a family and to have love in her life. So I don't know. I just love her so much. I hope we get to do more.
That kind of brings me to a question. We know this is based off of a series of books. Does the film concentrate on, more of the first book, or so is there potential for more?
Hey, that's what I'm praying for. This is strictly off of the first book, Where the Wind Blows. The whole series that it's a part of is called the Prairie Heart series. There's an additional 6 books, and if this is really successful, then I'm hoping that we can do more. We could do more films, or maybe it could be a TV series based on the other books. So, yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it could definitely be a series. Is there one that you would love it to be more than the other, or Or you just like, I'm open to it all?
Into it all.
Yeah.
I just the characters, and I think from our focus groups and now from our premieres, everybody loves the relationship between Chase and Jesse, and all the characters are very lovely and awesome. But I'd like to see the continuation of Chase and Jesse.
So yeah, you and Trevor plays Chase, Trevor Donovan. You had to create really a believable bond for the audience. What was the process like building that on-screen chemistry for you two?
I was very fortunate because Trevor and I were able to Zoom a lot before we got on set in Montana. And so we got to rehearse and get to know each other. And I just felt like we had instant chemistry. And then when we were in Montana, it just was very natural, it felt like. And he's just such a wonderful person, very nice.
He is a very kind soul. We've had him on a couple times, and we've talked with him in person
Right, in
also.
person.
And just there's a gentleness to him that we just both appreciate very much. And it just
Yeah.
really comes off on screen. And it fits the series so well.
Right.
Yes. I mean, Trevor, we were so lucky to have him as Chase. I feel like he really embodies the character fully, and takes on that cowboy persona. And, but he really is Chase Logan from the book. I mean, if you read the book, it really outlines even down to the way Trevor looks. It's crazy. Yeah.
So how did you end up with Trevor? I mean, I assume that you were part of the casting process as a producer. How did you kind of gather this wonderful group of actors?
It was a challenging process for casting because we had so many incredible people submit. And it's so hard because I'm on the other side often as well. So it's like you would love for everybody to be a part of your project. But when we saw Trevor, and then I had known and seen a few of his films, and um, really thought he has this charm and likableness, even though he can be this rugged,
Mhm.
cowboy. I just felt like um, he was just the right fit. We were lucky that he wanted to do this.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking of characters, you also have the lovely the character of Miss Hollyhock. Jesse and Miss Hollyhock have this friendship, and it's a little bit of a strained relationship at times. But I love their strength. What do you love about bringing these strong women to the screen?
Well, Michelle Hurd, who plays Mrs. Hollyhock, is incredible. She is the kindest, most professional. She's very funny. I loved working with her. I learned a lot from her. But bringing those two characters together, in the book, Jesse's mother abandons her at the orphanage. And we don't really touch on that in the film, but I think that that mother figure is what's missing for her. I mean, and so she looks at Mrs. Hollyhock as that somewhat, but also equals as friends, but then loves her so much more than a friendship where it goes into being a family member. And I just feel like they have just such a strong, special bond.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun to see their relationship dynamic because I feel like it was different at different parts of the film. Did you have a favorite scene to film with her?
When I have to say goodbye to her, I felt all of that. I felt like we were really connected in that scene.
Yeah.
And I was really having to say goodbye and choose to start a new life, but I wanted her to go with me. And so to say goodbye was a very emotional scene.
Right. Um, there's a lot that impacts these characters, but one of the things is that it's a period drama and it takes place in the 1880s. What's special about this time period and how does it impact your characters?
Well, you just realize how resilient everyone was, but these women especially. I mean, I had to wear 6 layers of authentic 1880s garments.
Wow.
And
layers.
I do stunts in them. I wore it every day just so I could carry myself as someone from that time period, just when I walk and I move. But it was not easy and very hot in Montana, and the petticoats and everything like that. But even traveling in covered wagons, not having running, just really understanding everything that they had to go through and how hard it was to live during that time period. it was very interesting to go through all that.
Yeah, and what's pretty amazing is sometimes you watch these period pieces and it feels like it's a beautiful story, but it feels a little bit irrelevant to our lives today. But I didn't feel that way with this film. What do you think makes these stories and these characters really relevant in today's society?
And ultimately, everybody is just looking for connection, and I feel like there's just so many elements of that in this film. So many wonderful relationships and just kind of a backwards way of having a family and getting to
Right.
fall in love. And I just feel like everybody can understand and connect with something in this film.
I love the what is family is maybe addressed in this film a bit, and it's not the same for everyone.
Yeah. Jessie, I don't think she ever, my character Jessie Strong, I don't think she ever really thought that she would find love.
Right.
She was in a loveless marriage and, finally she was going to have her family, but then it was almost taken away from her. And, the ups and downs of just going through all of that for her ultimately to have
Right.
her happy ending.
Right. It's a journey to get there. And the way it happens is, I was rewatching some of it today, and it's such a sweet story, even though it's a heavy story. But also, you had a couple of comedic moments that you were able to add in. So, was that done very purposeful, or did it just kind of happen as part of the telling the story? Because a lot of it looks not necessarily scripted. Like in my mind, I'm thinking of the boots. I won't say much more than that, but it comes across and it makes you giggle. So tell us a little bit about adding some of that levity to, a deep story.
It was really fun because when Trevor and I got to rehearse on Zoom prior to going to set, we really picked apart the entire script, and we both at the same time said, okay, the massage scene is our favorite scene.
Yeah.
So many reasons, probably for the comedy within it. But so when we finally got to act it out, that scene was over 5 pages long.
Wow.
And the blocking in it and just the movement and just a continuous shot, we really had so much fun with it. And I think a lot of it was a little bit unscripted. Trevor and I would just feed off each other's energy, and then and the boots, we could practice that a few times. And I know we literally got a kick out of it.
So now
It was fun.
people have some Easter eggs to look for when they are watching the film for sure.
Yes.
A couple of things to look out for. We love a good Easter egg. But you guys filmed in Montana, right? This is
Yes.
it's rural. It's
It
beautiful.
is.
What's it like to film in some place like Montana, and how does that impact the storytelling and the atmosphere on the film?
That was my first time there, and I was absolutely captivated by the
Mm.
beauty that is in Montana. It was the perfect time of year to film, and it was very rural, but every day I was just pinching myself to be able to be on a set like that, just watching the sunsets and, looking underneath the stars and just how beautiful the sky is. It was almost like another character in
Yeah.
in the film, just because it takes your breath away and you really just you feel like you're there with everyone, especially with how the film opens up.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the location. It was what, especially maybe Jesse's house. Was it something that you had to build for this, or was it a set already made, or just tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Treasure State Studios built the cabin, and the exterior cabin they built it all.
Wow.
And there was nothing inside of it. So when we shot the interior scenes of the cabin, that was in a sound studio. But
Okay.
they literally took the wood from indie filmmaking from the exterior cabin and had to take it over to rebuild it into the sound studio quickly. And they're absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some movie magic right there.
Yes.
Be magic. Yes. We shot in several different locations in Montana, including the Yellowstone Film Ranch, the saloon scene, Mrs. Hollyhock's store. And that was a real treat. That is that's a set that's always there that a lot of other shows have filmed at as well.
That's a set lots of people will recognize then.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
more Easter eggs for everyone watching.
Yes.
What was it like working with like the local production crew members and the team there?
It was so welcoming and just so nice. And they've worked on other big shows out there, and then a lot of it was just local production crew that just jumped right in and just we did the impossible. We filmed a period piece Western with animals and stunts and everything in 17 days. Everyone was just top notch. It was a real team collaborative effort.
What are some challenges when you're filming so remote?
Sometimes power. We had to get in extra generators. A lot of the scenes, including the end, we were in these tall reeds of grass, and the bugs that we encountered this time of year. I mean, the amount of DEET that we sprayed on ourselves was more than what we wanted, but just to not get bit. So there were some challenges, but we got through it. And ultimately, I couldn't have imagined filming anywhere else for this film.
Yeah, I think when you say it was like another character, you really feel that while you're watching. Okay, so you are producing this and starring in this. How did you balance your roles and kind of be able to be there for Jesse, the character, but also balance the behind the scenes tasks that you must have had?
And had an incredible team that did help while I had to go back and forth. Sometimes it was challenging to have to deal with some business, stuff, and then give myself plenty of time to get in the right headspace if I had to cry in a scene or, just really get back into the character of Jesse. So it was a bit challenging, but honestly, this has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
I love that. Was there a moment during production where you just felt especially proud of you and your team and what you were creating?
There's so many moments, but I think on the last day, especially the last scene, was such a moment of everyone just coming together. And then we realized, like I said, that we did really the impossible with our budget and with our time frame, and everyone just had a big group hug and became a family, and we had an after party, and we just I was just super proud of everyone. Every department gave it their all. Lack of sleep, up to 16-hour days sometimes. It was a lot.
When you look back, what's something that stands out to you the most? Like, what are you going to carry with you forever about this movie?
Definitely the friendships that I made, and just and being around such incredible actors like C. Thomas Howell, Trevor, Michelle, Don Swayze, Colin Egglesfield. Rob. The Lachlan Monroe. I just go through the entire cast. I think just really getting to see everyone's craft and working with my amazing director, John Shemke, and producer, which we are now going to keep going and do other projects and films together. That was ultimately working with him and collaborating with him is the biggest joy.
Yeah.
Do you throw out a couple of names that people who watch these romantic dramas are going to recognize outside of Trevor Donovan, including Colin Egglesfield and Rob Mays? Those are fun name drops.
They are incredible. They are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was fun to see them in these roles in particular because they just do them so well.
Well, you could barely recognize them.
It's fantastic, actually. I just loved it. I'm like, no way, this is so good.
Yeah, they are the perfect bad guys. So fun to see that role. I imagine that you talked about doing some stunts. They were probably part of these scenes. Can you talk to us a little bit about the stunts that you had to do?
That was my first time doing stunts, and it was with Rob Mays, who is our villain, one of our villains, and he's just so nice. I was nervous, and I was like, well, we were just figuring out logistics, and he was just so kind, and he was always making sure that I was okay. And, but it is a little bit difficult. Well, not only was I wearing the corset like we talked about, but, and running and being thrown around a little bit. But, when I had to punch him, you have to get very close to someone's face. And I didn't realize how close. So I was, a lot of the times I was just trying to make sure I wasn't actually going to execute that. Yeah, but he was so lovely and so nice about it.
Did you accidentally get him?
No, I didn't. Thank goodness. No.
That would have made it a little more real.
I would have made it a lot more real.
Right? It is a drama, and it brings all these wonderful dramatic points through this movie. What message or feeling do you hope audiences walk away with after watching Where the Wind Blows?
I want them to just be immersed in this whimsical Western romance and just feel the pages from the book come alive, and just forget where they're at for a while, and just completely fall in love with all the characters, and hopefully want to watch it again. I think that it's a really special film that will connect with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a rewatch, for sure. It's just honestly, who was your DOP? Because it's so beautifully shot. I feel like he needs a shout out.
Yeah, our DP was Derek Bauer. He's incredible. Yeah, we shot on anamorphic lenses, and we did a kind of a film grain in post-production in the color studio, and just to give it that more authentic, gritty kind of feel.
Yeah.
And I think it was executed beautifully. Our whole team did a great job.
The visuals are stunning and really gives you kind of that classic Western look to it. It's just breathtaking.
Thank you. That's what we wanted to accomplish. So thank you.
I mean, it does not look like you shot this in 17 days.
No, absolutely not. Doesn't.
Thank you.
We both enjoyed it. We're like, oh, this is really good. That's how you know.
Thank you. Yes.
Good when the texts are going back and forth. So how does Where the Wind Blows kind of align with the types of stories that you would like to tell in the future as an artist and a producer?
I wanted to create a space to have stories that I really feel passionate about. And I really love being in the family-friendly space. And, obviously looking for great writing. And so I feel like Where the Wind Blows was truly a project that I was dreaming about producing, and then I got to do it. So it's just really special.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
It really was meant to be. And like you said, there's 6 more books. There's 7 total. I could see more movies. And then you also said possibly a series. Have you, is that something you'd be interested in producing too?
If this does well, I would hope that we could do more, and Carolyn Fife would partner with us again, and we could progress and do the rest of the books. That's what I'm hoping for.
You mentioned about the family-friendly space. Something that stood out to me about this film is that it was completely family-friendly, but you still were able to touch on other things. Like the rating was higher than we're used to seeing on a TV or something, but you could very well watch it with any age. It was very appropriate. But I loved how you could still touch on those deeper moments, even the romance, the tragic things that happen, the villains. But you could touch on all those things, but you just did it in a way that anybody could watch. So I appreciated the good storytelling, and you didn't sugarcoat it, I guess is my point, right?
Yes, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted it to tell the story from the book, and that all of that was in the book. And so we didn't want to cut it all out, but we did want to make it still where it could be family friendly. And yeah, we have a PG-13 rating for the violence. There's a little bit of kissing, a little bit of killing.
That should be the title of the podcast. A little bit of kissing, a little bit of killing.
But it's very much falls into even like the very old school Western type of
Yes.
vibe, but it's a romance instead. So for me, it felt very familiar, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Julie,
Yeah.
I think when I first emailed Annabelle back, I told her this story reminded me of why I fell in love with stories in the first place. Like,
Oh,
this is the
thank
type
you.
of book I loved to read and story I like to watch on screen. So I totally agree with you. It felt familiar in a good way.
Yes, it has a little bit of an old school feeling of the
Right.
way stories used to be told, and that's what we wanted to do. We just wanted to give everyone a really great story that was very cinematic. So I'm glad that gave you that feeling,
Yeah.
because it did for me. That's why I always love to produce movies that I want to watch. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is definitely one.
There's such a contemporary piece to
Mhm.
telling a time period piece right now. And it just feels like it really fits with what's being told right now. Is that also one of the reasons why you went forward with this?
Well, the Western genre has been popular.
Yeah.
But we started this 2 years ago, so we didn't know that it would last this long. But if I was trying to think about it, I don't think there's a lot of period piece Westerns happening right now. I think there's a lot of modern Westerns.
There are, but there are just period pieces in general where things are.
Period piece Westerns, Western that are romances.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. Yeah, a romantic Western. I'm like, I don't know if there's many romantic Western
No,
films.
there aren't. There's a lot of
Right.
period pieces in the romance, and all taking a different point of view. And so I love the Western period piece
Yes.
coming.
Yeah, me too. Such a fun genre.
Something else that stuck out to me while watching was the music. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we had fantastic composers, Jason and Nolan Livesey, and very seasoned. They did all original scores for the film. Yeah, I can't wait for everybody. We're going to do a soundtrack. The music is absolutely incredible. And then my lovely, amazing friend Dawn Jordan, she has a new song off her new album, her single "Save Me" that we got to license. That's at the very end of the film. It's going to be released soon. And she had shown me that song a few years ago when she just started working on it, and then I just knew that it had to be a part of the film somehow. It just is such a gorgeous song. So everybody's gonna have a treat when they hear all the music that's included in this film.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna move forward with a soundtrack. Where would people be able to find that when it's available?
Gosh, we'll announce it once we know. We're still working on it.
Because I'm like, I need a soundtrack.
I know.
Yeah.
It really added another layer to the movie. It wasn't just there because it needed music. It felt important. And it stood out to me. So "Save Me" is the song, but it hasn't been released yet. Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct.
Okay.
When the film comes out, I'm pretty sure that's when it's going to come out.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll watch for that
Yes.
for sure, so we can link it maybe in the podcast notes.
Yes.
That would be fun. Okay, so tell everybody, Ashley, what do you hope, or why do you think they should watch Where the Wind Blows?
I just think it's a fantastic story about hope and family and love. And I think everyone will hopefully just walk away having a feel good movie. I just think it's a lovely story, and I hope that everyone will love it as much as we did making it.
I love that. And then where and when can they watch the movie?
It will be out next Friday, October 24th on Amazon and Apple TV.
So
Yes,
fun.
finally.
Exciting.
Are you like so excited for next Friday?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We're going to have countdown videos. Where the Wind Blows will drop next Friday, October 24th, Amazon, Apple TV. Yes, we are so excited.
I'm excited for everybody to see this. I think you'll have a lot of positive
Feedback.
reviews. Yeah.
Oh, thank
People
you.
will eat this
Yeah.
up. Ashley, would you play a little favorites game with us?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so you can give more than one answer. This is a fake game. It's kind of a get to know you game.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite movie?
I do. Gone with the Wind.
Oh, of course.
Um,
Do you have
I
a
mean,
favorite TV series or a series you're currently binging?
well, When Calls the Heart has been one of my favorite series for a long time. My daughter and I watch that show. But I recently got on board to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yes.
I ended up watching it. I did, and I liked it.
I think maybe we all got sucked into that one.
Everyone got
And
sucked in.
clearly we're big One Calls the Heart fans as
Yes.
well. So,
Yes.
yeah, oh, that's fun. Okay, when you are not producing or starring in a beautiful film, do you have a favorite hobby?
I do like to work out a lot. Helps de-stress.
Yeah.
My daughter is in college, but when she's at home, I do love hanging out with her and reading. I've actually found a new love for reading again. So not only am I reading scripts, but I just love to read just a lot of books that are just coming out. It just gives you so many great ideas to be
Yeah.
creative.
What are you reading?
Well, I'm reading Carolyn Five's second book right now,
Oh,
but
nice.
actually I just had my book club read Where the Wind Blows, so that was really fun.
Oh, fun.
But sorry, my microphone was a little bit loud. My book club just read Housemates, which was a little racy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
have
was
not
More
heard of that.
spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah. I was a little wow, yeah. I wasn't expecting it.
Julie, did you read it?
I have not read that one yet.
No.
but-
I probably will recognize it when I pull it up.
you know,
Do you like to read like the same genre, or do you like to switch it up? Like, I feel like I go through spurts. Like, I'm like all in at historical, then I'm all in at like fantasy,
Yes, same. I'm trying to
Okay.
switch it up. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be exposed to a lot of different things. So yes, I think it's dependent also on the seasons too. Just kind of like cozy book or
Right.
fantasy, and yeah.
And then music. Do you have a favorite song, a favorite artist or band?
Oh my gosh, I'm not really good at that part. Anything with a great beat. I am kind of nostalgic for a good Britney Spears song. I will say it.
I mean, yes.
Come on, right?
Same.
So what's your favorite Britney Spears song?
Oh, that one's hard.
You can list a
Oh,
few.
gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's my favorite, but Oops, I Did It Again. I mean, like I have her whole playlist.
Yeah.
Little, yes.
Did you ever see her live?
I didn't. I wish I did.
Yeah. I went twice, and they were just, I mean, I was like way younger, but yeah. So fun.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
great
Taylor
memories.
Swift. Taylor Swift is awesome. Megan Trainor, Michael
Yeah.
Bublé. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars. Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a great playlist, actually.
Right. Sounds like a cleaning the house playlist, honestly. Like
Yes. And
Sometimes.
you can sing along. Yep.
right.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this is wildly successful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and thank you everybody for watching or listening. Before we go, Ashley, tell everybody where to follow you on social media and maybe where to follow the movie.
Yes, thank you. Well, thank you both so much for having me. I'm a huge fan of your podcast, so this was a real treat today. And everyone can follow me at _Ashley.Elaine on Instagram and at Where the Wind Blows Official on Instagram and TikTok. And yes, Where the Wind Blows will be out October 24th, Amazon and Apple TV. So
Next week. So fun. Well, we will see you next time, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.